Hello everyone, welcome to OdinSchool. Today we are going to learn about Tableau. In the entire series of classes, we are going to learn about different aspects of advanced components in Tableau. First, in this class, we are going to learn about how do we connect with different data sources and what is data blending. Now, let's get started. Now, before getting into the syllabus, let's first understand why should someone learn Tableau. Tableau is basically a data visualization tool. When I say data visualization tool, what it simply does is it simply converts your data into chart representatives, visual representatives, through which you can understand the data better than seeing the raw data itself. As a human being, we have a constraint of not able to grasp hundreds of numbers at once. We will take a lot of time to understand the entire data if given in the raw format. Rather, if someone is given a chart representing the data that is there in it, it becomes easy for anyone to understand what is there inside the data. As we all know, a picture speaks thousand times better than words, right? So that is exactly why data visualization is very important. Even in real time, we would like to understand things by seeing it rather than going through numbers and the maths behind it. In business, everything can be understood only if they are put into a form of representation. Even if we are building a machine learning algorithm, at the end of the day, as a business owner, they will not be able to understand. Our business owners, our clients will not be able to understand what is this particular algorithm doing unless or until we put it into a chart, show them the trend. This is how your business has been in the past. By implementing this machine learning algorithm, this algorithm says that in the future this is how your business is going to travel. This way, by seeing a simple line chart, they can understand the machine learning algorithm as well. So it is important that we convey every useful information in the data, which is generally huge in the current world. To give an example, Amazon and Flipkart generates 8 TB of data per day in India. So when you have so much of data, you will not be able to grasp the hidden patterns and trends inside the data unless or until we put it into a form of visualization. That is why data visualization is a mandatory team or a mandatory component irrespective of whatever field that you choose. Even in IT, even in marketing, even in sales, everywhere that you go, it is all about having the having the data visualized or converted into charts through which we will be able to understand what is happening. Hence, learning Tableau becomes very important. Let's get into introduction about OdinSchool as well as about me. OdinSchool is a technology upskilling platform. They help us continuously acquire new skills. Their motto is to stay skilled and stay ahead. About me, I'm Gautam Kumar Jayachandran. I have 6+ years working as a senior data scientist. I work with several technologies, starting from Excel, SQL, Python, Tableau, machine learning, and analytics. I currently work in a financial domain. Now, let's speak about today's agenda. What are we going to learn in this class? We are going to get introduced with the basic architecture of Tableau. Then we will see how to connect with an Excel source file, how to connect with a database, how to connect and load the data, and how to keep the data. If I have to save the data, I can save the data in different formats. They are live and extract. We are going to see that as well. We are also going to learn about data blending. So that is all we are going to learn in this class. Let's get started. Connecting with Excel. Since this is a visualization tool, there will be literally no theory in the decks. Everything will be a screenshot through which everything is every screenshot is self-explanatory. But however, I would like to get our hands dirty through which we can learn this practical tool. This tool is purely a practical tool. There is no theory that you need to know in this case. Only thing that you need to know is what component does what work for us in the field of visualization. Let me walk you through the architecture. As soon as you open the Tableau interface, Tableau tool, this is Tableau Desktop. Let me show you the different components and I'll explain you what are the different components, what is Tableau Desktop in it, and we will talk about Tableau architecture inside this. That way it will make more sense. Yeah, let me just wait a minute for the Epic Pen to come up. So I'll show you what are the different components. Perfect, we have it. Okay. So there are 6 components in Tableau. Components of Tableau. The first thing is Tableau Desktop. The second thing is Tableau Reader. Third one is Tableau Server. And the fourth one is Tableau Online. Fifth one is Tableau Public. Sixth one is Tableau Mobile. So these are the 6 different components that forms this visualization tool. Talking about Tableau Desktop is basically the tool that we will use in order to create dashboards. Here we will create reports and dashboards. In Tableau Reader, using Tableau Reader, someone who is not a developer, say for an example, you are the developer, you are developing dashboards and reports for the users. The users may not require a Tableau Desktop to view the dashboard because these dashboards are going to be in Tableau format. So they need an appropriate tool to view what we have built as reports and dashboards. So simply an offline viewer. It's an offline viewer. You cannot do any manipulation, no data manipulation allowed. You cannot create or do anything. You can just see the report that is already created by someone. Then Tableau server. This is where we will publish it globally. So say for an example, you create a dashboard and then you have this dashboard should be consumed by people residing at different branches are present in the same campus as well, but for multiple users. When you have more than 100 users that are consuming this report, you need a platform where you can publish this. Once you publish this, what happens is users can go through a URL, go to a URL and view the dashboard that we already built and saved. The other advantage of Tableau Server is it provides us security. We'll talk about security in the later part of this course. And it also lets you schedule a data refresh. That is also it is possible using Tableau Server. Tableau Online, it is simply a virtual replication of Tableau Desktop only. If you don't want to install Tableau Desktop, you can avail the services of Tableau Online to create reports and dashboards in it, but it is literally very lessly used in terms of real time. So this is something that we don't even want to know about. Tableau Public, I think this is spelling mistake here. This is Tableau Public, not oblique. Tableau Public is basically the free version of Tableau Desktop with constraints. You will not be able to perform all the operations that you can do in Tableau Desktop, but you will be given the free version of Tableau Desktop as Tableau Public. One thing that you need to know when you are using Tableau Public is that Tableau Public is a tool which allows you to save your file only in the Tableau Public gallery. So when you have Tableau Desktop, you can save your file in the local machine, which is your laptop or your computer. But if you are working in Tableau Public Gallery, which is a free version, it will allow you to save your work only in the Tableau Public Gallery, which is a website owned by Tableau itself. It becomes a repository for other people to see what is there what is the other work created by other users. How can they get inspired by the work? How can they replicate the work also? It becomes globally available for everyone in the world. It will not be public, it will not be private, it will be public. Tableau Mobile is simply a mobile API for mobile users. So when we create the dashboards and reports and share it with users, some users may not be able to access them via laptops. They might be literally busy, like our CEOs or COOs, who most of the time they'll be traveling or in a meeting. For them to easily see the dashboards and reports that we have built, we can put it in the mobile format where they can see the dashboards in their mobile or iPads itself. So this is a mobile, type of the dashboards that we will build. There is one more component also, which is Tableau Prep. Tableau Prep is basically a ETL application of a Tableau ETL application purely for data transformation, extract and load only. ETL tool for Tableau, but this is a very basic tool. You cannot perform all the required ETL operations using Tableau Prep. Rather, we will be connecting directly with databases in real time. Tableau Prep is at an alpha level. Alpha version is what we have. We don't have a very detailed ETL performing applications inside Tableau Prep. It has been released in the market 2 3 years back, so it is still in the early phases of ETL development, but it is not powerful enough for us to do ETL operations inside this currently. But I'm sure the way they are upgrading the tools every month, it should not take more than 2 to 3 years for them to have all the ETL components, extracting, transforming, and loading the components. This is the idea behind are the components of Tableau. Here there are only two tools which are free, which are given for public. Tableau Reader is a free tool, and Tableau Public is a free tool. Everything is licensed. Everything is a enterprise product only. You can access them only if you pay for them. Tableau Desktop you can install for a 14-day trial. 14 days free trial is given to you. Once the 14-day trial is done, you need to pay money if you wanted to get a license. The license costs you somewhere around $2,000 per year for user. So buying this for personal use will not be the right approach. You can rather use Tableau Public to go follow through the course, or also if you wanted to build dashboards, you can use Tableau Public. So this is the idea behind Tableau's architecture. Let's minimize this, go to the deck. I'll show you Tableau Public Gallery before connecting to other data sources. Using Tableau Public Gallery, you can actually download all the works that we have done, or all the works that someone else have done, and try to replicate it. Let me show you. It's basically a repository. You see here they will have several visual dashboards. Looks like this dashboard is very nice. So what we can do is we can see how this is built. If you do not know how this is built, it is very simple. Just open this dashboard. You see this dashboard looks very nice. If I do not know how to create this dashboard, it is very simple. Go to the download option. You will be able to download the same in Tableau's format itself. Open the dashboard, and we can reverse engineer the approach that this creator might have done to understand how they have built this, and what can be taken away from this. It will be a good learning path if you are using Tableau Public Gallery. I also have a couple of dashboards here, but I don't think I have signed in. Just a second. I'll also show you one of my dashboard that I've published. So we can publish this. This will work as your virtual profile also. If you're applying for a job, then this will also be a very big contributor. If you have a Tableau Public Gallery and if you have visualizations in it, then based on the standard of the visualization, based on the complexity, based on the way you have built it, it becomes easy for a recruiter or for the hiring manager to recruit you. So it becomes both your virtual profile as well as portfolio for you. Now let me show you this dashboard. This will be what we will try to generate at the end of this course. We will be building dashboards and we will be trying to understand how does it work. I have built a dashboard which will perform both descriptive and predictive analysis. If I wanted to know what is descriptive analysis, if I just click on this, it will take me to another dashboard, another sheet where I will be able to view what I have done in terms of summary level or descriptive dashboard. So this is one dashboard which has several information regarding the data in it. Rather than seeing the data in the raw format, we can see them through the visualization. If I want to go back to the home page, I can just click on the home page, home icon here. It will take me to the home page. And if I wanted to go to predictive analysis, there are three different predictive analysis. I can go to anything and show you the way it is built. This is k-means clustering, which is a machine learning algorithm, and I will have options to toggle between the views. The x-axis is currently quantity, the y-axis is sales. If I wanted to change this into discount and sales, I can change that as well, and automatically my data gets varied. And then I can close this menu bar, go to the home page again if I wanted to travel through some other views. So this is what we will target to recreate in this entire module. Cool. With this introduction, let's go to the architecture here. Here, if you see, Tableau provides you several options here. If you see just it as a view, let me mark everything with separate boxes. Yeah. If I have to connect to the Tableau server, only for Tableau server, you need to give the path. I'll give you the path and then show you. This is for working on local files. So if when I say local files, so whatever file that is there inside your laptop, those files can be accessed through options present here. And then whenever you wanted to access files that are present in servers, then you need to choose this particular option to a server. When I say server, whatever database that you wanted to connect, you can connect it to a cube also. Cube is a multi-dimensional database, so you can connect to cube as well. If your database is not listed, the type of database you are working is not listed in it, then you can actually choose ODBC connections to establish a relationship as well. Let me cover everything and then I'll show you, and maybe I'll write and explain everything. Yeah, so okay, so this is for only for Tableau server. As the name suggests, this is only for Tableau server, nothing else. This connection that we have here. Then here we have connections to local files. Here we can connect to databases. Here it will show you recently files, opened or created files. Yeah, here you will have sample dashboards by Tableau, and here you will have resources for training by Tableau. These are the different components that we can have here. So if I wanted to connect to a database, I'll come here. If I wanted to connect to a local file, I can come here. For Tableau server here, for if I wanted to reopen the recently created file, I can choose one from here. Now there is one small piece that we need to know here, which is saved data sources. This saved data sources is simply nothing but a place where Tableau gives you 2 or 3 data sets that you can take for practicing. So for an example, whenever I wanted to create a dashboard, rather than if you don't have a data set, you don't have to worry. You can actually take the data source which is already powered by Tableau to connect with it and then play with it. That is the idea behind saved data sources. Here by default it comes with 2 data sources. We can also add more 11 data sources here. Say for an example, I am going to work on a project where I would like to keep all my you know data sets inside Tableau itself. I don't want to load the data every time that I work on dashboard. I can use this saved data sources and pick the data set to create a visualization on top of it. These are the different ways through which we will be able to create I'm like a play with data sets. Now that we know the data structure, what we can do is we can get started with loading a Excel file. For an Excel file, I'll choose Microsoft Excel here. As soon as I call this will actually take me to a pop-up where it'll ask me where the file is present. So I'll go to a folder. I go to my folder where my project files are present. It is in documents. Tableau. Okay, just a second. Yeah, perfect. I have an Excel file in this. So if I choose this, it will open up the Excel file into the data loading page. Tableau actually consumes a lot of memory whenever you are working on it. So you make sure that you free your memory as much as you can. I've opened a web browser here. I've opened a database here. I opened a couple of heavy applications also for my operations here. But having very minimal operations running parallelly helps Tableau to perform better because it runs in a memory only. It consumes a lot of memory. It minimally consumes nothing less than a GB of your RAM, not of your hard disk. It takes 1 GB of your RAM because it's a very powerful application. You will see how powerful it is once we load the data. So it is loading now. It will show us the data loading page with all the tables that are present in the data set that we just opened. It will take you to the data source page where it will show you what are the tables that are present and what are the features that are selected. Now what you are seeing here is one of the most important workplace of Tableau. In this place, we will be working a lot in real time. Again, I'll explain everything with examples. These are the sheets. And then, okay. So, So what we are seeing here are the tables present in the Excel. So in the Excel that we loaded, there are three tables in this. So this particular sheets option here will show us the tables. Here, if I wanted to perform set operations like union and union all can be performed using this union button. Then here we will be performing our ETL operations. ETL operations as in now I have three different tables, but I wanted to have only one table as an output as a final table, and on top of the final table I would like to build visualizations. So how do I join all those three tables? What are the conditions that I need to supply? And all those things will be executed here. Then here, whatever the columns that we are going to retain by generating by joining all these three tables will be given here with the table name. So it will be easy for us to access the columns in each and every field as well. It will also show you the rows in it. The values that are present inside the table will also be shown to you in this particular place. So this is the overall structure here. We will connect to tables, we will connect to data sources first, and then we will connect. I'll show you how to join the tables here, how to create a visualization by connecting to an Excel file. That is what we are going to learn in this case. Now, for an instance, I'm just going to close the connection that we just made. I'll simply close this because I would like to show how to connect with the different types of files. I'll go to data source again. Now I have connected to Excel. Tableau server is not for individuals. It is only for enterprise, only at an enterprise level. So I'm going to we will not be able to see Tableau server connection at all. But here just need to supply the path to which you need to sign in. There you every organization will have a Tableau server path to which you need to connect with. Once you connect, you will be able to publish your workbooks. That's an Excel file. What if I wanted to load a flat file? In terms of a txt file, so whenever I have data, I can load them with the help of text files operation. Even if it is a CSV file, even if it is a txt file, all those files can be loaded. You see here, I have a CSV file, which is comma separated value file. I can open this file to understand how the data is distributed and what is the data that is present inside them. That can also be understood with the help of uh, you know this exercise, not exercise, this particular concept called text files. So text files are basically CSV files or txt files. Even if it is a tsv file, that can also be used or put into help. Perfect. The next thing is, if you see here, the data is loaded here. You are able to see all the columns that are there, but it is not reading the column name properly because the column name is in the first row. We can change all these things. I'll show you how to change all those things. But the idea is to connect to data sources here. Now, if you see here, after changing a parameter, now my table is properly read. If you see here, once the data is read, it gives you two options: connection as well as live, and filters. We will talk about this a little later, but for now let me close this connection also and show you how to connect with the database. So we know how to connect with an Excel, we know how to connect with the txt file, and if I wanted to connect to a server, if my server is not present in this particular location, I can choose the option here and see if my database is listed here. Say for an example, if I wanted to connect with MySQL, I can connect with MySQL as well. I have MySQL also installed in my machine, so I'll show you how to connect with MySQL as well as SQL Server. The server is always local host for MySQL, and if I wanted to connect with a particular database, I can specify the database name and I can specify the password to it. That's it. Username and password is mandatory in MySQL. So if I'm giving this, it will automatically fetch the data that is present in that particular database coming from the MySQL server. Since it's a database, I have not opened this here in this case. I'll show you how does my Microsoft SQL Server will work. Since everything are heavy applications, I don't want my machine to crash while teaching, so I've not opened MySQL. I'll show you SQL Server rather instead, but the connection works exactly the same way. You just need to supply your username and password for MySQL. In case of SQL Server, the concept is slightly different. It says the server is, I think there's a spelling mistake here. So let's wait for this to load, so we will be able to understand whether the data is distributed or not. See here, there are 4 or 5 databases that are present in my MySQL server, and I have all these tables present inside this. So once you have all the tables that are present here, you can write SQL queries here to connect with tables, and you can also write drag and drop tables just like usual. But we will talk about creating data here a little later. First, understanding is connection. Then I'll show you how to use SQL queries to generate views out of it. Again, since we have connected to this, I'm just going to close this. The next thing is my Microsoft SQL Server. As soon as I log into Microsoft SQL Server, it is asking me the server name. what I have to do is, if you are using a SQL Server, you have to go to the database that you have, and then you have to just connect with database engine. In database engine, you will have the server name. So I'll simply copy the server name, take this, paste it here, and the database here is also optional. I can give or I can exclude this. I'm going to choose master database here, and then no other information is required. So I'm just going to sign in directly. So let's wait for this also to download. The databases are always heavy files, heavy applications, so it is taking a little time to connect. Generally, it is a little faster since I've kept multiple applications open at several ends. It is consume a little more time. But once this is connected, this will also let you to play with your files, tables that are there. If you create views inside your databases, all those views also can be not extracted, handled using Tableau Desktop. Then on top of that, if you have a cube application, you can also connect with a cube application. You can connect with AWS, Amazon AWS, all those things. See here, it has connected to my SQL Server, where it is showing me what are the tables that are there and what are the stored procedures that are there. If I have any views, it will also show you the views under tables. So these are the different types of connections that we can establish to connect to different data sources. So whenever you have different data sources, you will have to first go to the data source page option here, then choose what is the type of data that you need to import and start working on it. Now, since we know how to connect with data sources, let's connect with Excel first, drag and drop and play with tables, and then go to text file, and then we will do the same thing with both of our databases. For Excel, I'm just going to choose this option. I'm going to choose the same exercise file, property order product. It has 3 tables in this, so I'm just going to open this Excel file for now. Once we see the data, once the data is loaded, see here it gives me 3 different sheets: order details, products, and property information. This information cannot be seen. If I wanted to see what is there inside my table, this cannot be seen any other way rather than just keeping your mouse on the table name. If you keep the mouse, there is a dynamic key that pops up. If I just click on this, it will show me the table, it will show me the data in the tabular format. It will show you how many rows I have. I have 5,000 rows. I have 5 columns in it. My columns are always freezed, so I can understand what has happened in my data. The same thing applies to all the tables. In products, what is the data that we have? In property information, what are the products that we have? So we have only 20 rows and 90 rows. So we have now connected to an Excel file. We have seen the data, but if I wanted to join all these files and create a visualization as a final output, how will I do it? We will see data joining separately, but now what I'll do is I'll just perform data joining just for explaining you how the data will look. See here, as soon as I dragged and dropped, I'll remove it one more time. As soon as I drag and drop order details into the drag tables here option, it actually becomes available in my local place that I wanted to see. It is actually showing the first 1,000 rows. Let's not see the first 1,000 rows. Let's see only the first 10 rows. Yeah, that way it is easy for us to see the data here. The entire data will be present. Here we are choosing how many rows to see. Having minimal number of rows helps us to understand the data better. That's the idea here. So I'm just keeping 5 rows, only 5 rows, so we can visually see what is happening in the data. If you see here, each and every column here, order ID, order date, property ID, product ID, and quantity, all of these informations are present in the table order details, order details, order details, order details, and order details, and it is in blue color. this particular table order details is given in blue color. See what happens when I drag and drop product also. If I drag products as well on top of the orders detail table, it automatically gets joined between these two things and it shows me the relationship options here. We will talk about relationships little later. I'm just going to show you many to many, one to one, many to one. Yeah, I'll just close this. Yeah, if you see here, it gives me only product ID and it gives me orders table here. It gives me products table here. What if I wanted to join property information also? I can join property information with order details only because there is no common column that is present between products and property. So I'm going to just remove this. I'll remove this also. I'll remove this as well. First, I will have products into it. Then I will have orders. Then I will have property information. So it also performs the join here, many to one type of join. We will talk about all this cardinality and other things by in the next class when we are learning about joins. Here I'm just trying to perform joining operation. This is one to many here. That's it. So we are seeing all the three different tables joined together. Okay. These are joined together. Even though we are not able to see it, they are joined together and they will be available in your sheet 1. Not just in a sheet 1. This is just a page where we will be joining and performing the data creation process. And once the data is created, we can go to sheet 1 and see all three tables present inside them. So you will have two different things in your in a play in this sheets where we are going to create charts and reports. Basically you will have tables. So here the first table order details has this many information, products has this many information, and property has this many information. If you see here, the categorical variables are in blue color, because they are discrete in nature. They can only be counted, whereas the numerical variables belonging to each and every column, every data set becomes continuous in nature, so they are green in color. So green means continuous, blue means discrete in nature. These are also called as dimensions. When I say dimensions, these are the columns which has only categorical values in it. Whereas these are called as measures, where they have numerical values that can be used to perform aggregations and other mathematical operations on it. We have products information, we have property information. However, we will go to data source pane. In the data source pane, we have show aliases option, show field option, and we have live and extract connection. What is live and extract first? Then we will go on to show aliases and show hidden fields. Live and extract. In both the cases, what happens is Tableau asks you whether you wanted to have the relationship between the table that you just created to be present with the existing table. So this connection has been made from chapter 9, I believe. Let us verify this. So this is coming from chapter 9 where there is an Excel file. So live connection is simply nothing but it simply, even now it is connected to the chapter 9's property order product Excel file for us to create visualizations. But the problem with the live connection is if you have huge amount of data in your live source, say for an example, it is present in your database, it is present in your Excel also. If your Excel is slow, if your database is slow, obviously the performance inside Tableau will also be slow. Because this is directly connected using live connection, Tableau will not create any copy of the data from the Excel file or from any of the tables that we try to connect. Whereas in extract connection, what it does is it will simply copy the values that are there inside the table that we are trying to connect and creates as a extract file inside its own repository. So what happens in this case is Tableau shrinks the memory usage in its own file type, which is hyper hyper in that particular file type, and then saves it in its local repository, where it will be easy for you to connect with this extract and play with it rather than connecting with a Excel file or Tableau SQL file. Rather, we will be directly connecting with the Tableau file, which is an extract. Extract is simply nothing but the copy of the data that is present inside the source table. That is what it does. So whenever you are working on huge data sets, never ever go with live connection. Almost in all the use cases, we will use extract only. If I change this live into extract, you will find no difference in the view, in the performance of Tableau, as in visually. Everything will look the same. See here, nothing seemed to change, nothing seemed to be saved or anywhere. But as soon as I click on sheet 1, Tableau will ask me, where do you want me to copy the values that are there in this table and paste it as a hyperfile. So here, as soon as I press on sheet 1, it is asking me, where do you want me to save this hyperfile? This hyperfile is simply nothing but the copy of the data that is present in all three different tables. And it is a more Tableau uses a very advanced technology to shrink the size of the file. If your source file, say for an example, you are connecting with a database file, database table, where the table's size is 200 MB or 300 MB. If you convert that into an extract, it will be 20 MB or 30 MB inside Tableau. It will be lesser than 20 MB also. Tableau uses some advanced techniques to constrict the sizes of the files and save it as an extract file. I can now save it as an hyperfile, which can be accessed whenever I wanted to work on it. Well, that is the understanding of live and extract. Performance wise, literally both will perform very same, but the problem with live connection is that if my live data source is slower, like when we tried connecting with MySQL, it was actually slower. So in that case, what we can do is we can, rather than keeping the connection live, we can close the connection and take a copy of the data and save it as an extract, which is more faster than the any other tables. It is literally faster than any other files. So it is always important to be very faster in terms of reporting, because reporting always happens on huge data set. So whenever you're working on huge data set, if the time consuming consumption for applying a filter in the dashboard becomes lengthier, then it becomes really tough for the users to consume the product. So it is vital that all the data visualization tools are faster in nature. The more memory you free by not using anything, you just need to remove it instantly and then start working on it, just for the efficiency of reporting. Now we have connected connections. We will talk about joins, as I said, in the next class. Then apart from this, you have aliases and hidden fields. Okay, aliases are basically temporary renaming for values inside your categorical variable. It will not allow you to change the values inside the categorical columns. However, it lets you to change the values temporarily. Now I have housekeeping. In this case, let me see if I have different products somewhere else. Okay, here only. If you see here, product name is large towel, hand towel, washcloth, shampoo and moisturizer. I wanted to change this large towel into something else. So what I'll do is, see here, I'll choose on this drop down, which will appear only if you keep your mouse there, and then you can choose alias option here. Using an alias option, see here, these many products are there inside my product name column. Product name here is a column that we have. If I wanted to change the values of this product name into something, I can choose that. Large towel. Let me choose where is large towel. Large. Yes, large towel is there. I can change this into extra large towel just to show you how does alias work. and then just give OK. Now it will automatically show me large table as extra large table, and then show aliases option is selected by default. But what if I don't want it to show the alias? I wanted to show the original name. Then I can deselect this. Then it becomes large table only. So basically, renaming or temporarily renaming a different name to the values inside categorical column. These aliases won't work in numerical columns. It will work only in dimensions, not in measures. Hidden fields. Say for an example, I don't want to have product ID. It doesn't help me understand the business, so I'm hiding it. Once I hide it, if I wanted to say for an example at a particular use case, I would like to use the product ID. If I wanted to join this products table with some other table using product ID only, I can join. So in that case, if I wanted to show the hidden fields, I can show the hidden fields here, which will pop up the product ID as well. Then I can go ahead and unhide it. So playing with control of data, playing with the efficiency is all about connecting with live, connecting with extractors, show hidden fields or don't show hidden fields, all those things. Now on top of that, we have one more thing in the data source page, which is filters option. Now in filters, if you click on add, this is called as data source filters. There are several types of filters available in Tableau. So here what we are seeing is data source filters, where I can control the data. If I wanted to keep only a particular category or a particular column, I can do it. But we are going to again cover filters in detail separately. So I'm just going to go to the next ones. That's pretty much is what we have in this case of an Excel file. I'll show you a simple visualization. I'll not explain how does it done, but I'll show you visualization just to help you understand how the data is read, how the data is grouped together, and how a visualization is created out of it. We are going to see about joins separately. We are going to see about different types of calculations, different types of charts, and every other things in separate classes. However, I am here in this class. I'll explain once we connect to it how easy it is to create a visualization. There are several ways through which we can actually create visualizations in Tableau. The first being, I can choose product category and quantity. I'm using control to select two things. As soon as I select these two things, the show me pen, which was inactive, which was gray in color. Let me show you this. See here, this is in gray color. This will not show you anything, which means that everything, none of the charts that Tableau can generate is not available for the selections that we have made. So Tableau always works on the selection. There is a prerequisite for each and every chart that we would like to create. Say for an example, I would like to create an area chart. It tells me I should have one date, and I should have zero or more dimensions, and I should have one or more measures. So it is important for me to have all those, requisition that has to be completed. Only then the machine will allow me to create a area chart. Now let me show one date, one dimension or measure. So I'll pick date, I'll pick dimension, I'll pick a measure, then area chart will be available. Look at this now. Now I can go ahead and create a area chart out of it. So a prerequisite is there for each and every visualization that we would like to create. Let me go to product category and sales. Do we have sales? Okay, we have price. That is enough. If I click on price, if I select these two dimensions, see here, as soon as I have selected these two column headers, Tableau is offering me to create these many charts. If I wanted to create a simple bar chart, all I have to do is just click on this. It will create a bar chart on product category against price. Look at this. It has created a product category against price. So we have column shelf here, we have row shelf here. So whatever that I wanted to keep in columns in my visualization, I can keep it in the column shelf, and whatever that I wanted to keep it in the row shelf, I can keep it below as well. So this is how easy it is to create a visualization and understand the business rather than performing several things. Now let me show you the other way of creating a chart inside Tableau. The next way is I can double click on the product category and then I can double click on the price. As soon as I double click on both the product category and the price, it has created a table for me. And if I click on the show me pane, it will now allow me to create whatever type of charts that can be created using the two selections, one dimension and one measure. If I wanted to create a pie chart out of it, I can create a pie chart as well. Excuse me. Okay. So this is how easy it is to create charts when you connect to the data sources. We will go to the data source. We will connect to a CSV file. We will see how to take the help of CSV operations and create a chart out of it. Then we will connect to MySQL and SQL Server and play with it. For removing the existing data source, I'll come to sheet 1, right click and close here. It'll simply ask me if I wanted to delete it. I've just asked the machine to remove the connection or cancel the connection. Then I can go to data source, choose a txt file. The txt file, I would like to see where is my txt file. This world population data set is there. Using this data set, we can play with this. As soon as I read this file, it by default understands the first column, first row that we have is a row, not a column header. So in this case, we need to create the data. How do we create the data? Go to the worldpop.csv option here. Just choose a drag a drop down here, and then ask the machine to choose the field names are in first row option. As soon as I choose this, automatically my data becomes available with all the dimensions in it. The live, extract, filters, aliases, hidden fields, everything remains the same. I'm just going to go to sheet 2. In sheet 2, if you see here, these many measures are there. Starting from 1960 to 2016, we have population distribution as data points. Now if I wanted to know what is there in country, what is the code for each and every country, and what are the indicators. So first I'll change the data type of this, which is geography in nature, into uh, since this is a date, I'll go with just string. I'll just ask the machine to assign no geographical value to it. Here also I don't want any geographical value to it. Hence you will have only dimensions and measures directly, and you can directly go ahead and play with it. Now, say for an example, I would like to keep um, I would like to see how the population is distributed. We have this many countries we have. Say for an example, I would like to see what happened in 1960 and where we are in 2016. Here I would like to create a simple stacked bar out of it. A stacked bar doesn't look so good, so I'll change this into a column bar chart. Again, doesn't look so good. A bar chart doesn't help. Hmm, so I'll keep only 1960 to see how the data is distributed. Doesn't look the data is distributed properly. Now I'll sort the data in descending order as well as in ascending order. For me to store the data or save the data in descending order, I'll choose this option where the data gets automatically sorted in descending order. We can see the values are increasing. The value started with a very high number and decreased continuously. So this is one way of creating chart using CSV file. Now let's go to data source and then close this file first, close this connection. Let's go to a database and see how database can be used. I'll connect to MySQL. I'll connect with the easiest database, and then try to retrieve the tables and retrieve values as one final table. Here also, when you have several tables, either you can drag and drop them to perform joins, or you can custom create a SQL query which will fetch the information for you. Let me show you how does it work. We have actor table. What is there in actor table? We have actor ID, we have first name, we have last name, and last update. Okay, let's see what is actor information table. We have a film information, first name, last name, but not required. I need, say for an example, what is the cash that each and every film, uh, you know, won? Nope. Is there anything that we have here? Film actor. This gives me the film ID, and we have film ID in categories. Do we have any other information? Division rating, length, price. What are the categories? Okay, that is film ID, and then I would like to see if there is anything in text. I'm just seeing if there is a table that we can use. Okay, so I'll just keep actor information and then maybe the films that they have acted in. What is this table having? Film table. It has description, language ID, last update, original language, rating, special features, title, film ID, length, release year, rental duration, rental rate, replacement cost. Say for an example, I wanted to know what is the rental rate for each and every actor. This rental rate is not actually present in the actors table, but actors first name and last names are present. Let's see what is the date connection that we can create using this. In film also we have only film ID. So I would like to see if film ID is present in actor information. Yeah, nope, nope. Film ID is also not there. Where is film ID? Okay, here I think film ID should be there. Actor film ID, perfect. So I can generate what is the film ID for each and every actor first. Then I will through this film actor table. Then using the film ID generated there, I'll be generating the name of the films here. What is the name of the movie that they have acted in, which is simply title, and then what is the rental rate. Now, if I wanted to perform these three information, I can actually join them. Now I'm trying to join them. It says no connection. Actor ID, here also actor ID. Using this, I can perform a join. Allow the machine to update the information now. Now it is joined. Then if I wanted to see what is the film that they've acted in, I can drag this also now, where I can join film information through film ID and things. Here we don't have film. Okay, we don't have film ID here. I think it's a wrong table then. I'll just discard this actor information table also. I think in my film table we have actor ID information. I think yes it is. Uh, no, we have only film ID there also. Where is film ID here? Okay, actor ID and film ID is present here. I'll just choose this and then I'll choose this. This will sort all the cases. Okay, what is this? This is actor ID and actor ID. I'll join film ID now. Using film ID, I'll join film ID in the next table. So this way, what happens is the entire data gets joined together, where I can see what is the what is the film that an actor acted, and what are the what is the title for the film, what is the rental rate for each and every actor, what is the film information. All those things are joined with the help of these three tables. Yeah, so this is what we wanted to achieve and we are able to achieve. Let's go to the sheet 2 now, where we will have only these information: actor information, the film in which he acted, and how can this film be related together. So that is pretty much what we can do. The same thing can be achieved. The same operation can be achieved as well with the help of SQL query. Now let me show you how to connect with SQL database with SQL queries. Now let me remove all. I can use new custom SQL option here, where I can write the titles or the column names here. Let me see what are the column names first. We need, from actor table, we want first name and last name, actor ID is present, okay. And then in film and actor, I can join the film ID from it, okay, from view film actor. And then from film table, I can join I wanted to retrieve what? I wanted to retrieve what is the title of the film, and I can show the rental rate. I think this is pretty much enough. Okay, perfect. With that said, let me write my custom SQL. I can write the same select sequences that I wanted to have. I will say select for a dot first name as first name. Then we will write a dot last name as last name. Then we will have, we don't want anything from the first table, then we will retrieve data from the second table, which is film actor. So from film actor, I'm going to retrieve film ID only. Then I'll go to the third table. In the third table, I will ask the machine to retrieve me the title in which the actor acted. I'll simply say film title. Then I will also retrieve rental rate from that particular table. That's all we need to select, and then I'll choose what are the tables, from what table this information has to be retrieved from. The first table is actor table. I would like to join um, the second table, which is film actor, which is B, on A dot actor underscore ID is equal to B dot actor underscore ID. Then I will join the third table, which is um, film table. Yeah, film C on B dot film underscore ID is equal to C dot film underscore ID. That's all I need to have, and then let me see the results. If it is fetching me information, see here, it is fetching me what is the title of the movie, what is the, who is the actor, and who is the, what is the actor's first name and last name, and what is the film ID, and what is the rental rate for which the movie was sold into. Now if I just close this and just give OK, this information is now generated: first name, last name, film ID, film title, and rental rate. So we can understand what is the name of the movie and who acted in that movie. Guinness have acted in the film Academy Dinosaur, and the rental rate is 99, 0.99 basically. Looks like Nick Wahlberg have acted in several movies. Ed Chase have acted in several movies. Jennifer Davis, and every information can be retrieved with the help of writing the query, and only these five columns will be available inside my sheet now for me to create you know a chart out of it. Maybe I'll simply keep film ID in two dimension. Film ID should be a dimension, not a measure. And then now I keep it. I'll just convert this into a line chart. It's already a line chart. Since there are multiple film IDs, we are just choosing, let's keep only 70-75 movies. That way, we can understand what is the pattern in which the data is distributed for film IDs and their rental rates. This is the idea behind writing our own SQL and generating an output out of it. Now I'll close this connection and then create a new connection with SQL Server. I'll just sign in since I've already supplied the database name, sorry, server name. I'm just signing this in. I'm closing my server now. I'm closing my database. No longer it is required. I just need to have my uh, have my database server name given to me. If I don't have the server name, then I have to fetch it from the database engine in my server through my database. Once it is fetched, you no longer require your database or server to be running in the backend, because Tableau connects with the database and then it starts refreshing. It starts getting the data, fetching the data without the database running in the backend. It's taking a little longer time. Just give it a second or two. Yes, it is loaded now. Let's see the tables here. If you see here, there are a lot of tables that are there in this, uh, you know, particular database. Customers tables is there, orders tables is there, salesman's tables is there. Let's see what is there in customers table. We have city, customer name, customer ID, salesman ID, and grade. And we have orders table where we should have customer information, salesman information, order information. Perfect. We have salesman table also, which gives us the information towards salesmen's. All these informations are very vital. Now I wanted to know what is the order number, who placed that order as a salesman, and to whom the order was sold, the customer, and what is the amount amount that was earned by selling a particular product to a customer, and what is the commission that my sales representative got for selling this particular product. I can write a custom SQL for achieving the same. I'll say select order number first, a dot or d number as order number, or I'll simply say order number. Then we will see what is the purchase amount as sales amount. I would simply put it in aggregation. That way we will see only the sum of purchase amount and simply say total sales. Then we will have purchase amount and order number should be from the orders table. Then we will take the customer information from the customers table. No, maybe we will write from whom the sales is generated. I'll simply write it in this order. So the second thing that I wanted is who's the sales representative. Sales c dot name as salesman, and b dot cust underscore name as customer name. We have sales order number, the salesman who sold this, the customer who bought this, and what is the amount to which it was sold, and what is the commission. So I'll simply go c dot commission. I'll simply say a dot purge underscore amount into commission. I'll just put everything in this. This should be my commission. These are the columns that we need to extract from several tables. I'll say from the orders table, which is A, join customers table, which is B, on A dot customer underscore ID is equal to B dot customer underscore ID. Then I'll join the orders table with salesman table C on A dot salesman underscore ID is equal to C dot salesman underscore ID. Then we need to group the data by A dot order number, C dot name, B dot customer underscore name, then C dot commission. That's all we need to see. Let me preview the results. It says it is invalid column name salesman ID. Okay, there is some spelling mistake that I made. Now it should generate the results for us. So it gives me what is the order number and who's the sales representative who worked on this order and to which customer this order was sold and what is the total sales by selling a particular product and what is the commission that this particular sales representative earned for selling this order 7002. All these informations are there. Just give OK and go to the sheet. Customer name, order number, salesman, commission, and total sales. This is all we need to do. I'll just give it in a view where first thing that I wanted to see is order number. Then I would like to see the salesman who worked for it, the customer that who got this, and what is the commission and sales. Now, since we have commission and sales in numbers, I will simply visualize it. If I simply put it into a visualization, then we will be able to understand this much better. Customer, this shouldn't be commission, this should be sales first and commission next, and then I can show you the values also. So if you see the data here, I'll just put it in the full view. If you see the data here, the order number 7001 is placed by the customer Graham Zuzi and the sales representative Neil Knight worked in fulfilling the order. The total sales that was the total sales amount for this particular order is $151, for which Neil Knight earns a commission of $19.6. So this is how we can understand the data by representing in visual format. These are the different ways through which we will be able to connect with external and internal data sources and play with the data in terms of creating visualizations. We will talk about all this formatting, all this row shelf and column shelf a little later. Here the idea is to understand how can we connect with different data sources and how can we take the help of custom creating things as well. Okay, now let me close this connection as well. Let's connect to a. Now that brings us to the end of connecting to data sources. Now we will see what is data blending. Data blending is simply nothing but a concept where if I have two different tables, okay, say for an example, I would like to join the property information with the product information using two different tables. But the problem is we might have multiple values in my first table, or I might have multiple huge set of data. Joining operation can be performed when you wanted to collate two files together and retain the values. However, Data blending is an advanced concept where it does not join two tables if I wanted to merge them, but it will simply create a relationship between two data sources, letting you to access the files here and there. So to keep it in simple order, if I have mapping table, I don't want to use the mapping table on the large data set that I have and create another huge file. Rather, what I'll do is I'll keep the mapping table as a data blending concept where it will simply work as a relationship manager. Let me show you with example. First, let me connect to an existing data file. I'll see if I have the files separately. So here I have product information separately. I have split data separately. I have property, order data, product separately, and all those things. So let me see what is there in yearly data. Okay, I'm not sure what is there in yearly data. So let's keep property, order, product. Okay. Now, as soon as I connect it to this data source, what it does is it gives me or shows me all the three different tables that I can actually connect with. In that case, assume I don't have products or property information in this table. Property information. Let's see what is the other table that is there. I think it is property. Let me just validate it quickly. It is product information. Okay. Assume we don't have product information in this table. Now, what I can do is if it is present in a separate Excel, I can add that Excel here using this add option. I can add one more Excel here and join these two tables. But the problem is when I have huge data set, after creating a project or after working like 30-40% in your project, if some new table comes into picture, rather than disturbing the existing source data, what we can do is we can rather create it as a reference or a relationship manager, so that it will not be creating a new table, rather it will simply work as a bridge between the required missing information. Now in this case, I have order details, I have property information. Now I don't have product information. Now in this case, let me go to the sheet 3. In property ID, I will have many here. Here I'll have only one, so it's a many to one. Let me go to sheet 3. In sheet 3, if you see here, I have two tables, order details and property information. I don't have product information. In this case, what if I wanted to know what is the product information? I have product ID, but I do not know what is the name of these products and what is the cost for each and every product. So, but I know it is present in a different file. What I can do is I can choose the data option here and then select add data source option, new data source option I can choose. If I choose, machine asks me what is the data source that you wanted to connect with. Assume I wanted to connect with a Excel file, another Excel file. I wanted to connect with products Excel file, so I'll simply choose that. The secondary data source can be of any source. It can be from a database, it can be from a CSV file, it can be from an Excel file, anywhere. Okay, we have products information in this sheet. See here, we don't have that another connection that we just created. It shows us only products connection. But if you see this cylinder icon here, which is actually a database concept, if I just choose this, it will show me the other connection also. It will show me that the order details that we just created is also present. But these two are now working as two different files, two different data sources. If you go to sheet 3, you will be able to see that they are present, but they are present separately. Property and order details are present in one file. Products detail is present in another file. In this case, if I wanted to use this product information to with the orders information that are there in the products table, in this products table, we do not have any order information nor property information. In this order details, we do not have product information. So how can I bridge these two tables together so that it does not create a new table, rather it will simply retrieve the data appropriately. If I wanted to know what is the product name, using product name from this table, from the product ID from this table, I can create a relationship. How do I create a relationship? Go to data pane, edit blend relationships. In edit blend relationships, what you need to do is you have to first pick the primary data source and secondary data source. Primary data source is simply nothing but the original data source that you have. You can toggle between your primary and secondary data source as and when required. By default, see here, machine has already identified what is the common column that can be used to bridge the gap between these two data sources. In this case, product ID is the common column. Say for an example, you have the column names different here. What you can do is you can choose custom and then you can choose add operation here. In the secondary data source field, we don't have anything literally for order date. For order ID also, we don't have anything. For product ID, we have product category, product ID and product name. So I can choose product ID in primary data source and product ID in secondary data source, which will act as my existing mapping. So I'll just give OK here. Only two tables can be blended together. Remember that only two data tables can be blended together. Then if I just click OK, you see that nothing happened in the tables view here. But as soon as I click on product ID and drag it into view and go to products table, it will now say me that there is a relationship that got created. This relationship is working as a linkage only. It even now in this case they are working as separate tables only, but now that there is a linkage that is created, now the data between both the tables can be used vice versa. If I wanted to know what is the name of these products, I can simply choose this. It will tell me what is the name. I'll keep it here. Look at this. For product ID 1 is simply nothing but large towel. Product ID 2 is hand towel. But we don't have the product name in this table. However, by creating a blending relationship, we are now able to access the information that are present in both these sources. Now, if I wanted to know what is the price for each and every product, that is also that I can do with the help of same data blending concept. And to just show you a simple visualization, what I'll do is I'll show you only the top 10 products with highest prices. This is a sum only. Yes. Perfect. The top 12 are being visualized here, are shown here. Now, if I wanted to visualize it, I can simply put it into a visualization and understand how the data is distributed. So I think I can keep it in this way. So the product ID is 37 for the king size bed. And what is the value? The value is $300 for that. And double bed is the next costliest item that we can purchase in the products list, which is of $250 in price value. But this price information and the product name information are created as a relationship. You can see a cylinder like icon with a tick mark in it, which means that it is now working on the relationship. This product ID is coming from orders table, orders detail table, whereas this product table, whereas this product's information comes from, so the product name and the sum of the price will come from a different table with the help of relationship. It will not create a table. So the key difference between data joining and data blending is that joining tables will create one final table, um, wherein you will have all the information relevant to all the tables that we join. Whereas in data blending, we will not join the tables and keep it as one table. They will be separate tables only. But however, it lets you to access the values between these two tables by creating a relationship between them. This is the idea behind uh, you know data blending as well. You can create two different extracts. Since these are two different files, you can create two different extracts and the machine will save it as a different extract file altogether. It is asking me whether I wanted to save this as a hyperfile or not. In this case, I'm going to just go with no. But however, I can show you that this is how we can play with data to understand different business concepts. Now what I'll do is I'll close this. I'll close my secondary connection also. I'll just keep the orders table. I'll show you a small visualization with which we will be able to understand good information. Okay. Yes. Okay. So we have one final table which will have both products and orders information. What I'll do is I'll simply show you how the product categories are distributed in terms of price. I want to show the table title also. Let me go to show me and then choose this option. Maybe I'll show a pie chart. I would like to see it in a pie chart. Just creating a donut chart. I'll show you, we will see how to create a donut chart separately. But here I'm just explaining it to you and in the context of understanding the business or loan. Perfect. I'll just keep this in the interview. I'll do the formatting. We will talk about formattings also, but the idea, as I told again, is purely to understand how our data can be consumed in the form of uh, charts. Okay. And then I can show what is the price for each and every product category also. And I can show what is the product category as well. So green is public areas, blue is supplies, office supplies, um, um, red is maintenance, orange is housekeeping, and blue is furnishing. I can also show what is the overall price of all the products as well. This is 4,983. I'll simply format this as well. Total, or I say overall price. So if I see the data here, I can understand how much each and every product category is contributing to the business. Looks like furnishings is contributing more to the business rather than any other categories that we have. So this is how we can connect to a data file, any data source, both internal and external, and create a visualization that helps the business user understand how the data or how the business is performing. With that said, let me quickly recap what we have learned in the last 90 minutes. So we learned about connecting with different data sources. We learned about connecting, playing with live and extract connections. We also learned about what is data blending. And then finally, we learned about, how to, simply save a file if it is an extract or if it is a live connection as well. Then with that, we will wrap up the class for the day. We will continue with the next topic in the next class. Thank you so much for joining this session. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to OdinSchool. Thank you one more time.